Hello and welcome, everyone. We said that we'll come back in June, and it's only gone barely 2 weeks, right, Robin?
Absolutely. 2 weeks as far as I remember, Markus.
Yeah, but I got you on a phone call, and there was something that I think a lot of shareholders and other people that have been interested in asking, and you want to share something today.
Absolutely, Markus. The idea when you started the podcast here was that to keep the people engaged and informed and actually being part of the journey. And we made a big step, I think, very interesting one, and by starting finally the production of GT-002 capsules in our partner in Spain. So the production started yesterday, Monday. I'm tracking them. I'm in touch with them every day, and fingers crossed, everything is going well with the production.
Michael, why did it take such a time to start this?
Well, that is a very good question. There are two things that come here. First of all, we had to do the production in timeline with the permission to do actually the clinical trial. You don't want to do it too early because then the clock starts ticking with the stability and the expiry date of your drug, and you don't want to do it too late. In our case, once we got the permit, then it was a classical example of Murphy's Law, and Murphy's Law states that what can go wrong will go wrong, and that happened in this particular case. Now that is finished, and I learned today that there's an extension of Murphy's Law, which is called Finnegan's Law, which is what can go wrong will go wrong at the worst possible moment. And believe it or not, a little anecdote here in this story, they were starting the production exactly in that week where I had this major blackout in the whole Iberian Peninsula, including Spain, of course, and Portugal. And exactly that was when it was going to be produced. Never mind, nothing happened. It's starting on Monday, and it's being on track, Markus. So that was what I wanted to share, because it was a huge, it was a huge stone off my chest, to be honest. Yeah. That finally, as you said, after such a long time, it's producing on. So that's the uphill struggle. The downhill struggle is that the perspective of finishing is very short. The production should be finished already this week, and then we follow the next steps.
That's very close. So it was just getting started. That was a bit hard.
Yeah, you have to go through all the quality assurance, quality control for one production line. All the documents have to be done. Okay, have to know how many impurities to have, what is the permitted daily exposure during production, and so on and so on. And we had most of the material of the documents already. They had to be updated, sent in, and after again Murphy's Law, finally it's overcome. And we are producing now.
Great. And so if I have this last question, we'll try to keep it short today. Yeah. What would be the next steps then for after the material has been sent?
So what is being produced right now is the capsules for the clinical trial, and will be capsules enough for the entire clinical trial for the next 2 years. And it's a production of the placebo and GT-002, so they are actually identical in the form, shape, appearance, because it's a blinded study after all. And the next step is then the packaging and the labeling, which is part of the process, and then it gets sent to the people in Denmark, in Glostrup, and they are of course informed and happy that's ongoing. So that should happen next week. Friday this week, production is finished. Next week will be packaging and labeling, and then off they go to Denmark, and then we'll have a meeting with the guys from TOTEM next week, so they can start the trial proper. And I presume that will take longer, but of course, as soon as the first patient actually is being started in the trial, Markus and I will be back on the webcam here for the next news.
Yeah, I think this could be a different way of having this format, right? We'll have these longer sessions, we'll dive into some deeper topics, but as well we'll have these shorter updates.
Yeah, we have a plan, the next big one, or the larger one, interview with a guest towards the beginning of June. That will be for sure. And if we have any good news, of course, then we do a shorter, quick update like today to keep you as part of the journey.
Great for a good phone call, booking this so fast, Robin.
I wish I could do it more often, but we'll see.
Okay, until next time then.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye.